Watching the Royals and the A's on a very hot and humid day in Kansas City. And Zach Greinke's first pitch to Adam. High for ball one. Off of Alex Gordon's glove and rolls into shallow left center field, and someone's going to have to get on that in a hurry. So it's a single for Adam Kennedy with Alberto Callaspo running over to second base, and David DeJesus coming in from left to keep Kennedy at first base.
Well, this is the area that Kennedy very rarely goes to, but right here Alex is playing shallow, and he cuts across, and the ball goes right off the end of his glove. Like you said, that's one that David DeJesus really had to hustle on, because that could have easily turned into a double if he's not really breaking on that ball right away.
Now Rajai Davis, 2 hits last night, a run scored and an RBI. One ball, no strikes from Zach Greinke. Zach facing the A's for the first time. He didn't see Oakland when the Royals were there in May, and he has never lost to the Oakland A's. 3-0 in 10 appearances. Zach made his major league debut against the A's in Oakland back in 2004.
Now this is really a different setup for the Royals defense. Normally when you're playing an Oakland A's team, everybody's back and waiting on the ball to be hit. Now Alex is in at third, and they paid a price for the base hit, and that's the difference in this team with Oakland this year. They're doing a lot more running, a lot more bunting. They're just a different ball club.
You and I were down by the batting cage during batting practice and talked to Mark Ellis, who's originally from the Royal system, and you asked him, how do you like this new style of play? And he said, I love it.
Well, I think he loves it because it incorporates everybody on the ball club. You have an opportunity to help your ball club in a lot of ways without the benefit of a base hit. You can bunt a guy over. You can get a guy from second to third. You can hit and run. There's so many ways with this type of baseball that you can help your club without getting a base hit. So every time you go home after a game, you feel like you help your club.
Scott Hairston, another player that is somewhat new to the A's, coming over in a trade from San Diego about a month ago, where he was having a good year. Greinke throws strike one. Hairston was mostly a platoon player in San Diego, and then getting some playing time when he moved over to the A's. But when Matt Holliday was traded to the Cardinals, that opened up left field on an everyday basis for Hairston. Zach with a quick move over to first, and Kennedy just beats the throw. Kennedy has stolen 12 bases. He's been thrown out 4 times. And the Royals have their best throwing catcher in there tonight in Miguel Olivo. Ball bounces away from Olivo, but he jumps on it quickly. So Kennedy holds it first, and it's 1-1 on Hairston. Royals didn't see a lot of Oakland's running game last night. Of course, the A's didn't need it, as they came up with 9 runs on 11 hits. They had a 5-run 4th inning, but stole just 1 base. Great pitch on the outside, 1-2 on Hairston. As Zach Greinke continues to evolve into one of the best pitchers in not just the American League, but in all of baseball, he has provided a lot of memories, and a big chunk of those this year with the start that he got off to in April and in May. As Kennedy runs, and the pitch is in the dirt, so Kennedy moves up to second base with his 13th stolen base of the year. But I still think, Frank, one of my biggest Zach Greinke memories, maybe the longest lasting one, his major league debut against Oakland, in the first jam that he got into. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 3-2 on Eric Chavez, who was one of the premier left-hand hitters in the game. And that was the first time he decided to flip out his 60-mile-an-hour curveball. And Chavez loaded and reloaded about 4 times, grounded out to second, and everyone started looking at one another and going, can you believe he just did that?
Well, that's where the confidence comes from, and that's always a good sign that a pitcher knows when he's in command. And he went right on from there. I mean, I've never seen a more dominant pitcher. I mean, he just go out and just walk through the games hardly with no effort at all, and that's where that low ERA was there below 2 for a long time. And I mean, he was just one of those guys that you come to the ballpark, everybody can't wait to get to the ballpark to see pitch.
Got the corner and strikes out Hairston. So Kennedy at second with 2 down.
I mean, Zach's really found his fastball early. This pitch was supposed to be on the inside corner, but yet it was right. It was down in the strike zone, and he was able to sneak the ball by Harrison. But I think that is a good sign of just being able to keep that fastball down. And his last start hitting the catcher's mitt was a little bit off for him. So if he hits that mitt tonight, he's going to be pretty tough.
And that'll bring up Jack Cust. 1 for 4 with a walk. And there's a slow curveball at 66 miles an hour.
Yeah, Bob Guerin kind of looks at Jack Cust as the only legitimate home run hitter on their ball club right now. Everybody else plays the other type of baseball, but he's the one guy that goes up and just does what he does. He swings.
Late movement, got the inside corner, and it's 1-1. Well, for several years, the A's were a bunch of Jack Cust. Maybe not as many strikeouts, but guys that would go up there looking for their pitch. If they didn't get it, they'd gladly take a walk, and if they did get it, they would swing from their heels and try it, not only hit it out of the ballpark, but through the ballpark.
It was all about on-base percentage.
Zach is hitting the corners, keeping the ball down, and doing so in the mid-90s.
These pitches right here, Ryan, are unhittable. I mean, right on the outside corner, and even if he gets the bat on it, he's probably going to foul it off or miss it. But if Zach stays right there, down in the zone, it could be a long night for the A's.
And that's hit hard to center. Bloomquist back, runs it down. Zach gets some help from the defense, and the A's strand a runner at second in the first. throws a scoreless top of the first. And rather than us announcing the Royals today, we have several Royals fans watching via satellite in Afghanistan, so we'll allow them to take over.
Staff Sergeant Steinbrook, hometown of Sedalia, Missouri. Leading off for the Royals tonight will be left fielder David DeJesus.
Well, that's a good guy to introduce because he had 3 hits last night, including a double, a triple, an RBI. David still trying to get that average up to 270. He was in the 230s about a week prior to the All-Star break. Started to warm up before the break, after the break, got up into the 240s, 250s, and checks in tonight at 263. Royals are facing a pitcher they've never seen before, 24-year-old Clay Mortensen, former first-round pick of the Cardinals back in 2007 out of Gonzaga, and traded recently to the A's from the Cardinals in the deal that sent Matt Holliday to St. Louis. Into right center field, and Davis runs it down, 1 away. Here's Royals manager Trey Hillman.
I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thanks to all our military men and women all across the world, here in the United States and abroad. Thank you for everything that you do in keeping our country safe. We appreciate it very much.
So David DeJesus is out, number 1, and now Willie Bloomquist, who didn't play last night, taking strike 1 from Clay Mortensen. This is the 3rd consecutive game the Royals have faced a rookie pitcher they have never seen before. This goes back to the final game of the Seattle series when they faced Jason Vargas, and then Vin Mazzaro last night and Clay Mortensen tonight. So Willie down on strikes. Mortensen picks up his first American League strikeout, 2 down in the first inning.
My name is Senior Airman Jacobs. I'm from St. Joseph, Missouri. Batting third for the Royals is Billy Butler.
Well, it's getting to a point now where fans either here following the Royals in the Midwest or maybe following the Royals in Afghanistan. That's a pretty easy call to make because Billy has settled in nicely as a number 3 hitter. There's a couple of guys now that Trey Hillman can start to not pencil in there but ink in there every night, with DeJesus leading off and Billy Butler batting 3rd.
Well, those are the 2 spots, and both guys have really performed well and responded well. Billy took off a lot faster when he moved into the 3rd spot and knew that's all he had to think about every day. And really, in that spot, Ryan, you're not thinking about being a number 4 hitter, hitting home runs. You just think about getting base hits and hitting the man on base. And he just did an excellent job using the whole field.
2 more hits last night and a walk. He's up to 296. And another strikeout for Clay Mortensen. The Royals down in order in the 1st.
wearing Kansas City Royal gear.
So no score to the top of the second inning. Kurt Suzuki will lead off for Oakland. Zach gave up a leadoff single to Adam Kennedy, who stole second but retired the next three, including his first strikeout of the night. Kurt Suzuki was hitless in 5 at-bats last night, but he did score a run. And if he wasn't 100% awake when he dug in, he is now.
Yeah, I talked to him down there too, Ryan. We were down there. He's another player that I managed against in Double-A, and when he was going to the money ball, where they had to, what they would do, nobody on base, they would take pitches. Man on base, they would swing first pitch. So he's happy with the way they're playing the game today too. He says it's a lot more exciting game.
And as we continue to salute our uniform heroes, here's Congressman Ike Skelton.
Hello, I'm Ike Skelton, Missouri's 4th Congressional District Congressman. This is a great day here in Missouri and a great day for a ball game. Just want to let you know that we thank you for your service in Afghanistan. Understand you're doing fantastic work on the watershed project. We want to wish you well, let you know we're proud of you. By the way, I spent last Thanksgiving just where you are with your predecessors from the Missouri National Guard. And I know you're doing extremely well, just like they. God bless.
And specifically, the congressman's talking about the Agribusiness Development Team, a 58-member team, part of the Missouri National Guard, providing support to local farmers and leaders in Jalalabad. As Greinke pitches to Tommy Everidge. Everidge 1 for 3 with a walk and driving in a run last night. The Missouri National Guard was the first in the nation to have an agribusiness development team. That was back in '07. The current team has been there since December of '08 and expected to come home in November of '09. They'll be replaced by a third team. So Zach falls behind 3-0 on Everidge, and now can have a chat with Miguel Olivo.
They may be trying to just overthrow a little bit. He might be feeling a little strong line. The way the fastball's getting away from him and running high in the zone, that's a good indication of maybe just trying to throw a little bit too hard.
Zach is coming off his worst start of the year as far as earned runs allowed. 3-1 on Everidge. On Monday at Tampa Bay, gave up 6 earned runs. That's how good Zach's been. I mean, this is his 23rd start of the year. So it wasn't until his 22nd start that he gave up more than 5 earned runs. I don't know if there's any other pitcher in the league that can say that. Zach also struck out 9 in those 5 innings. And now he walks Everidge, and the A's have 2 on with nobody out. But you and I, watching that game, Frank, getting the feeling that Zach just never quite looked comfortable on the mound. Didn't have his typical rhythm. Looked like he was kind of searching for it for 2 or 3 innings, and he said about the same when the game was over.
Yeah, the one thing about him, if he can't get that fastball established, and his rhythm he never gets his rhythm. That's his pitch. He wants to get it established early, and that'll make his secondary pitches better. If he's got to go to his secondary pitches first, and he doesn't have his fastball command, then that's when the rhythm never comes.
Now it's 0-1 on Ryan Sweeney, who homered for the A's last night. It's only the 87th home run for the Oakland A's this year, and that is at the bottom of the American League. He bats with Suzuki at second, Everidge at first. One ball, 1 strike. In Zach's first 16 starts, he was 10-3 with an ERA under 2, 1.95. But in his last 6 starts, he's winless, 0-4, and his ERA an astronomical 3.65. So even when Zach hasn't had a win in well over a month now, still a more than a respectable ERA, still a good ERA.
What you like to see here, Ryan, I like to see the pace quicken up a little bit. There's a little more time in between pitches, and that'll get you out of your rhythm also. If you quicken that pace up, get the ball, let's go, and make your pitches, and everybody stays in rhythm with you. But he just he's not, that pace that doesn't seem to be Zach right now.
And now the first three have reached. Bases loaded, nobody out.
This is not a bad pitch here at all. I mean, this pitch is down, running away. Then and Sweeney really just made a nice swing on this ball. He just got it right down on the end of the bat there and sliced it in the left field.
We invite you to share your thoughts as we salute our uniform heroes all through tonight's broadcast. And you can text us at 432-432, keyword KC, followed by a space and your message. And we'll display several of those messages tonight. So Suzuki at third, Everidge at second, and Sweeney at first. So there they are, watching the game in Afghanistan. So this is a message that won't just disappear into space. It's a message that will appear on their television screens as they watch tonight's game. One strike on Mark Ellis. 1 for 4 runs scored last night. Here are some of the messages already coming in. 432-432, keyword KC, a space, and your message. 1-1 to Mark Ellis. One and two. So even though Zach hasn't won since June the 28th, he still leads the American League in ERA at 2.36. But to put things into perspective, his ERA since his winless streak again is 3.65. That ERA still would almost qualify him for the top 10 in the American League. At the moment, the 10th best ERA is 3.43. And Zach, in his worst stretch of the year, is at 3.65. That's how good he's been. It's 2-2 to Ellis.
It just doesn't seem to be quite as sharp as you would want to see him. The first inning, he looked real sharp. Ball was down. He was hitting the mitt. This inning, he's up a little bit more with the fastball. The fastball's running away from it a little bit more, and he's leaving it out, and just having a hard time really hitting the spots.
And Ellis lays off the slider, so it's 3-2 with the bases loaded and nobody out. Into left center field. It'll score 2 as Suzuki and Everidge come to the plate. And going first to third is Ryan Sweeney. So Oakland takes a 2-0 lead in the second inning.
Well, you work yourself to a 3-2 count, and that kind of favors the hitter. He's got to come in with the fastball, and Ellis is waiting on it. Hit a line drive over shortstop. 2 runs scored on the play, but right now Zach just is not really as sharp as he was in the first inning with his fastball and fastball command.
And now Cliff Pennington. We had 3 hits, 2 doubles, and 2 runs driven in last night. One ball, 1 strike. Like the A's, Tampa Bay on Monday jumped on Zach early in the game. Zach gave up 2 runs in the first, 2 in the second, and at the end of 5 he had given up 6.
I was talking to Ray Fosse about Cliff Pennington, Ryan. Just wanted to get a little background, and he said that when he first came up, he was using a 33-inch bat, 32 ounces, and they felt it wasn't enough bat for him to use his hands, so they gave him a 34.5-inch bat, and all he thought about was just using his hands, and then when they did that, his offense they started just really driving the ball.
He's a former A's catcher, now broadcaster for the A's.
Yeah, Ray was really excited about the way he's come along, and he also, I asked him about the new style of play for the A's, and he's all on board. He says very, very exciting, and they've had a lot of fun covering it.
Adam Kennedy opened the game with an infield single, then stole his 13th base. The A's stranded him at second base, and now Oakland with 2 in the second inning. Ball 1. It's hard to imagine, but the Royals have a losing record when Zach Greinke is on the mound. Zach is 10-7, but when he pitches, the Royals are 10-12. Royals have not picked him up in any of his no decisions. Goes with the changeup, and Kennedy out in front, 1-1.
Well, that's a rare pitch that Zach throws, and that's the pitch he worked on a lot in spring training. He does a good job just getting it out and again watch the ball how it goes down and away, and that's a perfect changeup.
The pitch that Zach worked on all spring training. He had a very high ERA in camp. Betancourt's only play is to first, so another run scores, 2 down. Sweeney to the plate, and Oakland leads 3-0.
But Betancourt's playing back. This ball's off the end of the bat right here, so really no play at the plate on this one. That's one of those plays you've got to make your mind up right away what you're going to do with the ball. Either you're going to go right to first or go right to the plate.
Well, it's a good thing he didn't throw to the plate because Miguel Olivo wasn't expecting a play at the plate. Ellis at second base for Rajai Davis, who flied out to right in the first inning.
Now, you often wonder about any pitcher who goes out there and pitches well and doesn't really get the run support. You lose a lot of tough games. You leave your team in a lot of games, but don't get bailed out of those games. And you like to think that mentally you can just go out there and block all that out and just pitch your game. But you have to wonder how much it does affect a guy like Zach Greinke now that the Royals are down by 3 and you're waiting for your offense to support you, something that they haven't done all year. So you just wonder how much pressure that's putting on him out there.
Two balls, no strikes. Well, here's Zach's losses this year. He lost in May to the Angels 1-0. He's lost a 9-3 game, although he was hit hard in that one. And was hit hard against Arizona, losing 12-5, but he's lost 5-0, 3-1, 2-0. It's 2-1 on Davis. So 3 of his losses, the Royals didn't score a single run. Another loss, the Royals scoring 1 run. Twice the Royals scored, make that 3 times. The Royals scored 3 runs in a Zach no decision. It's 3-1 to Davis. Rajai Davis, a former 38th round draft pick of the Pittsburgh Pirates, mostly because of his speed. Very good athlete. And he'll take a walk. So Zach has walked 2 in the inning. And first and second with 2 down, and Scott Hairston to the plate. And a 30-pitch second inning for Greinke. Well, Zach has given the Royals some innings, 7th in the league in innings pitched coming into tonight. He's given the Royals on average 7 innings per start, and on average 106 pitches per start. On Hairston, and I bring all that up because it is that point of the year, the dog days of August, the dog days of the Major League Baseball season. It's a very hot day in Kansas City, and this might be one of those periods that Zach, along with just about every starting pitcher in Major League Baseball, goes through, where you have a little bit of the lull. That should stay in play, and Billy Butler along with Miguel Olivo in front of the Royals dugout, and Butler makes the play to end the inning. Oakland comes up with 3. And facing Clay Mortensen, who knocked down the Royals 1-2-3 in the first with 2 strikeouts. It'll be Mark Teahen, Alberto Callaspo, and Mike Jacobs.
My name is Staff Sergeant Douglas Pierce. I'm from St. Joseph, Missouri. Batting 4th is Mark Teahen.
And Mark back to the number 4 position after Brian Pena hit 4th in the final game of the Seattle series on Thursday, and the first game of this series last night.
Well, I talked to Mark about batting 4th and asked him how he felt about it, and he said that the thing that he fights is trying to do too much. And we talked about this early in the year. regardless of where you hit in the lineup, you just got to know what kind of player you are, what you bring to the table. You can't really just turn this thing off and on and be all of a sudden be a home run hitter because you're back and forth. And he said that's what he fights back and forth, is just kind of do too much.
Thank you for your commitment and sacrifice to our country. May God bless and protect you and your families.
Royals pitcher Brian Bannister. So Mark Teahan takes a 4-pitch walk against Clay Mortensen, Royals' first base runner.
Captain Alan Bennett from Balco, Missouri, batting 5th for the Kansas City Royals, Alberto Callaspo.
And Alberto 2 for 5 last night and batting at .298. Well, it's occurred to me now that while our troops overseas make our lives easier, when they join the broadcast, they make our jobs easier.
Tonight, for sure.
Yeah. 2-0 on Callaspo. Clay Mortensen pitched in 1 game for the Cardinals. That was on June the 29th against the Giants in a blowout game. Giants won that game 10-0. And Mortensen coming out of the bullpen. He gave up 6 runs in 3 innings, but only 2 of those runs were earned. But the strange statistic, over those 3 innings, he retired every single left-hand batter that he faced, and he didn't get 1 single right-hand batter out. The lefties hit 0-0-0, and the righties hit 1,000 against him in those 3 innings. And that changed against the first batter that he faced tonight when he got David DeJesus to fly out to center field. Or rather, when he struck out Willie Bloomquist for the second out, retiring his first right-hand batter of the year. And that's his first strike of this inning, 2-1 to Callaspo.
You can see what they like about him. I mean, he's got a real good slider, and his sinker does sink. It does turn over. It's just a matter of whether he gets in the strike zone or not and hit its location with it. But he's got a lot of movement to his sinker.
Back-to-back walks. So the Royals down by 3, have 2 on, nobody out. I want to welcome everyone watching tonight on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 177 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching live here via satellite in Jalalabad, Afghanistan, and seeing themselves on television. Go ahead and wave. And also watching in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. And we are linked up via satellite with the Missouri National Guard, their agri-business development team, 58 members. And 147 of their family and friends are here at Kauffman Stadium.
Hi, I'm Sergeant Julie Olson from Pilot Grove, Missouri. Batting 6 is Mike Jacobs.
And Jacobs a chance to do something here in the second inning after the back-to-back walks to Teahan and Callaspo on 9 pitches. So Mortensen's thrown only 1 strike to the first 3 hitters. And going off speed, and he had Jacobs bailing out. It's 2-1. Mike Jacobs 2 for 2 with a walk and an RBI last night.
Yeah, you usually don't see that on the changeup, Ryan, where the left-handed hitter gives up on it that fast, and that's 80 mile an hour. It said some good run to it right back over the plate.
Two and two. Very tall and skinny. 6'4", 180 pounds. Out of Rexburg, Idaho. Played his college ball at Gonzaga. Still 3 and 2 on Jacobs. Mortensen taken by the Cardinals as a supplemental first-round pick, the round in between the first and the second. Compensation draft picks for players who lose free agents. And after Jeff Suppan, a former Royal, left the Cardinals to go to the Brewers, that was the supplemental pick that the Cardinals received. And with that pick, they took Mortensen. Has a big pitch to make here to Mike Jacobs, who has hit 14 home runs this year. And the last thing he wants to do is walk the bases loaded with a 3-0 lead. So Jacobs should get a decent pitch to hit.
He's due to get hot too, Ryan. It's been a long dry spell, and this is a great opportunity to get it back in the game.
Goes with a changeup. So we were talking about Zach Greinke and his major league debut against Oakland in 04. Now he had the guts and the confidence to throw some off-speed pitches in big counts.
Well, following back-to-back walks, and you go to 3 and 2. That does take a lot of guts to throw a changeup right there. And that we'll talk about pitching backwards. In the fastball count, Zach gets Ellis in a fastball count, and he gets the fastball, and now he gets the changeup to Jacobs.
Third strikeout for Clay Mortensen.
I'm Specialist Daniel Lee from Overland Park, Kansas. Batting 7th, catcher Miguel Olivo.
And Miguel not in there last night, as Brian Pena did the catching and extended his hitting streak to 7 games with a 9th inning double. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two balls, 1 strike. There are the family and friends of the Missouri National Guard, the agribusiness development team, who are hooked up with us via satellite. There's some members of them watching on the television screen. They have 2 different hookups. A big group is watching in one room, and then there's a smaller room where they're linked up so we can actually see them and communicate with them, hopefully. Royals in Fox Sports Kansas City, saluting our uniform heroes. Well, we'll see if we can't get hooked up right now. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Olivo is down on strikes. That's 4 strikeouts for Clay Mortensen. And this has been a problem for the Royals all year. Runners on, but not moving them along. Back-to-back walks, and now back-to-back strikeouts. And joining us via satellite is Senior Airman Matthew Jacobs, who is in Jalalabad, Afghanistan, part of the Missouri National Guard. Can you hear us?
lost our support for Jake. No, I can't.
Well, there's the answer to my question. I imagine there's quite a delay from Kauffman Stadium to Afghanistan. Senior Airman, can you hear us?
What did they say? Yes, sir.
It's 2-0 on Alex Gordon. Well, does it feel a little bit like home to be able to put the Royals gear on and watch the Royals on television?
I can hear you. Not when it's like 90 degrees and it's 4 o'clock in the morning, no. Not at all.
Well, if it makes you feel any more like home, it's 97 degrees in Kansas City. Two and two to Gordon.
There you go. It's getting close.
We'll be checking in with them throughout the game. Rather long delay from here to Afghanistan, but still able to make some contact with them.
You know what time of morning it was, and he told you how hot it was.
Alex strikes out. The Royals get 2 walks on 9 pitches, and Mortensen comes back to strike out the side. So we hope you'll join us as we thank these companies for their support of the men and women serving the United States Armed Forces. So 3-0 Oakland, getting all 3 in the second inning. Mark Ellis driving in 2. Adam Kennedy the 3rd run. And the Royals just had a big opportunity against Clay Mortensen in the bottom of the second inning. After back-to-back walks, Mortensen struck out the next 3. Jack Cuss lined out to center field in the first inning. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two and two. Cuss with 125 strikeouts this year, second most in the league. Last year he set an American League record with 197 strikeouts. Over over the inside. Not where Olivo wanted it, but a strikeout nonetheless. And Zach's second tonight.
Hey fans, this is David DeJesus. I'd like to thank all the military personnel for everything they do for us. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
So Zach with 2 strikeouts. And Kurt Suzuki into left center field, and Bloomquist cutting it off in the gap. So Suzuki is 2 for 2. And the A's with their 5th hit already off of Zach Greinke. That'll bring up Tommy Everidge. He walked and scored in the second inning. The A's first 4 hitters reaching in the second. Suzuki, Everidge, and Sweeney loading the bases. Ellis driving in 2 runs. And then Kennedy the third. Right field, Martin is there. So 2 down with Suzuki back to first base. And now Ryan Sweeney, who singled and scored in the 3-run second inning. Sweeney originally from the White Sox organization, a 2nd-round pick in 2003. And while he's with the White Sox in 07, his first year in the big leagues, hit his first major league home run against the Royals. Hit it off of Scott Ellerton. In the game last night, he homered off of Robinson Tejeda, who really picked up the Royals bullpen by going 3 2/3 innings after Brian Bannister had to come out after 4. Two and 1. It's not often you say a reliever pitched a very good game and the team loses, but Trey Hillman didn't lose his entire bullpen last night because Tejeda was able to go 3 2/3 innings.
Right, they're hoping that Zach can get deep in this game and even limit the innings to even less, you know, so that way they get even more rest. And with a day off coming up on Monday, they should be more than fresh for the road trip.
As the A's scored 3 in the second inning, Zach threw 32 pitches. So on a night like tonight, with the weather the way it is, there's the actual pitch count, and then there's the how the pitcher feels pitch count. So sometimes you can add about 10 or 15 pitches as far as how they feel with this heat.
Right, you want to throw strikes on hot days. You don't want to have a lot of deep counts and spend a lot of time on defense. And right now Zach's having a hard time getting those first pitch strikes over. He's pitching behind in the count for the most part, and he's having to come in with his fastball.
Still 3 2 to Sweeney. Now you said before the game that you think a day like today is advantage for the pitcher.
Well, if he's throwing strikes, I mean, you got to throw strikes. If you don't throw strikes, then it hurts your defense. I mean, your defense suffers with you when you're not throwing strikes. It hurts your defense also because they're standing out there. But if you keep them active and get them off the field, then they stay a lot fresher.
Is it similar to a very cold day in that when the hitters stand in the box and it's can be miserable out there that they just want to swing at the first thing close because they don't want to be in there very long?
Well, when it's cold, you know how cold goes.
But I mean, is it same when it's really hot too?
No, I think from an offensive standpoint, the hitter has an advantage if the pitcher doesn't have good command like Zach has right now. I think they're going to be probably the fresher because they're sitting there waiting just to swing the bat. Well, you got to go through the motion of pitching. You got to have guys chasing balls. But the faster you put those in play, the better chance you get off the field and get guys off the field. Right now, it's about how much time you spend on defense.
Look out. Blur over to the Royals dugout, hitting off the netting in front of the dugout. Sweeney, after fouling off 6 in a row, puts one in play, and that's the inning. Missouri National Guard is up at 4 a.m. There's Rick getting a chance to hear that message from his family and friends. And at some point, we're looking forward to hooking up again with the Missouri National Guard, watching the game and filling us in that it's 4 in the morning and it's 90 degrees. (2-0) on Unievsky Betancourt. Royals stranded 12 runners last night, so they had their chances to get back into the game after falling behind early 7-1. And then tonight, got back-to-back walks from Mortensen in the second inning, but Mortensen came back and struck out Jacobs, Olivo, and Gordon.
I'm Specialist Michael Thomas from St. Joseph, Missouri, and batting ninth is shortstop Unievsky Betancourt.
Off Kennedy's glove and out into shallow left field. 3 hits in the series for Betancourt. By the way, pretty good pronunciation of the name. That has to be a true baseball fan who either has paid attention to the game and all the teams in the American League, or was able to pick up the pronunciation of Unievsky Betancourt in very short order.
Well, that was perfect.
Just rolled right through it. Ball one to David DeJesus, fly to center field in the first inning. One and one. Here are some of the comments that have been texted in by viewers tonight, and you can join in by texting 432-432, keyword KC, a space, and your message, and we will scroll them across your screen tonight, and they will go directly to the Missouri National Guard watching tonight in Afghanistan. Frank, they're hanging on your every word.
They're hanging on the delay. They're still waiting to answer your first question. Yeah, they're up early watching this game, but they probably got a full day ahead of them also. They probably got the comment 4 o'clock in the morning, 90 degrees, not too good.
Well, Mortensen has proven, even though he's making his second major league appearance, that he has a lot of confidence in his off-speed pitch, and he is not going to give in a hitter's count.
And that's the one pitch he's been able to get over. His sinker's been out of the strike zone. That's what's getting him behind in the count, and the off-speed pitch is bailing him out. So the Ross can maybe eliminate the sinker when they're hitting the count and look for off-speed.
Betancourt runs into Jesus, drives it to center. The wind's going to push it on Davis. He is back, and it's off the wall. Betancourt's going to be waved home. And Pennington's relay is late. So the Royals are on the board. And the reaction from the National Guard in Missouri.
David's really been doing an outstanding job, Ryan, in this series of driving the ball in the middle of the field. I mean, he really tattooed that ball, and Betancourt did a good job scoring. But I tell you, Suzuki made an outstanding play on that throw, and they made that play a lot closer than we thought.
Willie thinking about laying one down.
Senior Brando from Kansas City, Kansas. Batting second is Willie Bloomquist.
Willie struck out swinging in the first inning. One ball, one strike. Well, this is something we've talked about during this homestand. And Trey Hillman, for the most part this year, and I don't mean for the most part as in 55-45 or 60-40. I'm talking 90-10. Has allowed the hitters to swing away to advance runners. At one point, is he going to start making the hitters lay down a bunt with a runner at second, nobody out? Bloomquist has squared around 3 times. 2 balls, 1 strike.
I think, Ryan, it's one of those things where when you're seeing it consistently happen to you, then you got to figure out, okay, we got to do something to make it happen for us. And they've got some guys on this ball club that are capable of doing those things, but sometimes you got to bring it to their attention and control the situation.
And Willie's ahead, 3 balls, 1 strike.
Now, Willie's doing a real good job here of getting a strike. A lot of guys, you put the sacrifice on, or even when they do it on their own, they don't really realize it's the same as swinging away. You still have to get a strike, and don't just bunt the ball because anywhere it's pitched because you got the bunt. Now, with a sinker ball, you got to make sure you hit the ball kind of square. You hit the top of the ball, it ends up right out in front of the plate, and ends up not being a good bunt. So you got to make him get the ball up.
3 balls, 2 strikes. So swinging away after getting ahead in the count, 3-1, and now it's very unlikely he's going to lay down a bunt 3-2.
Not likely.
Not the best swing, but he's still alive.
And that was a tough pitch. That ball was boring in on his hands pretty hard.
I guess at times you can get a little greedy when what you want to do is lay down the bunt and get the runner to third base. But then the count becomes 3-1 and the strategy changes.
Right, 3-1 with a sinker ball, you're still possibly looking at a ground ball. You just hope you can get it to the other side. But in a guy that's going to throw you 4 seamers and the straight fastball, you got a better chance of driving that ball to the outfield and advance the runner that way.
"27 pitches in the second inning after back-to-back walks on 9 pitches. But then he struck out Jacobs, Olivo, and Gordon. And Willie gets it to the right side. So job well done. De Jesus to third base.
Hi, this is Billy Butler, and I want to thank everyone in the Armed Forces for all they do for our country.
Billy, a strikeout victim in the first inning. So the Royals get the double, which drives in a run. And with a runner at second base, nobody out, get the runner over to third. And now Butler can hit a ground ball. Jesus would come home from third, or a fly ball. And that's to deep center. Davis to the wall. And it's a 1-run game. So Butler gets the job done, and the Royals move De Jesus around after his RBI double.
This is just an outstanding swing from Billy. I tell you, we really like the way he's been swinging the bat and driving the ball, and he just happened to hit this ball to the deepest part of center field. But this is what you want in that situation. You want to be able to have that guy at third base just walk home, just like David did right there.
Oh, 0-1 to Mark Teahen. Butler now with 55 RBIs, which ties his career high from last year. So a new career high in home runs, and now he's tied the career high in RBIs. Mark Teahen walked on 4 pitches in the second inning. Just missed. Well, as the sun continues to set in Kansas City, we hear it's just starting to rise in Afghanistan. Checking in with the troops about 30-40 minutes ago. Tee into center field, and that's the inning. Royals get 2 in the bottom of the third to make it a 1-run game.
Team who's working in Nangarhar province in Afghanistan to try to help people from the way they were making a living to make a living in a new and better way. Thanks for all you do, but today, enjoy the game.
And there's the Missouri National Guard watching in Jalalabad, live via satellite, where it is about 4:30 in the morning. We checked in with them about a half hour ago. Got a weather report. It's 90 degrees. I'm not sure if 4 in the morning to them means staying up late to watch the game or getting up a little earlier than normal before the day starts. But either way, there's a lot of rubbing of the eyes, and it doesn't matter what corner of the earth you're on, 4 in the morning is 4 in the morning. Mark Ellis driving in 2 in the second inning, grounds out to begin the fourth. A's getting all 3 runs in the second, with Ellis driving in 2 and Kennedy driving in 1. And the batter is Cliff Pennington, who popped a short in the second inning. And with the National Guard watching via satellite, we also have several friends and family of those members of the Missouri National Guard that are here at Kauffman Stadium tonight. And we also have a parent of someone of the armed forces working on our television crew. Richard Harlan, our technical director. His son, Alan Scott Harlan, is stationed in Okinawa, Japan. He's been there since August the 6th. And so Rocket, as we call him, wants to say hello to Alan, who is in the land of the rising sun. Full count on Cliff Pennington. First round pick of the A's in 2005 out of Texas A&M. Second out of the inning.
I'm Jennifer Southard. We're from Central Missouri, and this is for Sergeant Julie Olson. It's her entire family. We want to say God bless the troops, go Royals, and we love you all. Hope you come home soon.
There's Julie in the middle, who opened our broadcast tonight. The technical term for the beginning of the broadcast is the tease. A little voiceover with some highlights to get you ready for the game, and then we come on camera. But tonight, Julie introduced the broadcast, also introduced one of the Royals coming up in the first inning. One ball, two strikes to Adam Kennedy. And now Zach has retired 6 of the last 7, going back to that 3-run second inning. Kennedy had an infield single and a stolen base in the first inning, and then an RBI with a ground out in the second. Did not go around. The Royals were just about off the field and in the dugout when Tim Timmons said no swing.
You get a good look at his changeup here. Hits right on top of the plate, which was a good pick by Olivo. But you get a side view, just watch the wrist. You don't really get a good look at it, but if those wrists come forward, the bat head comes ahead of the hands, and you know he took a good swing at it.
Drilled to right and sailing over Tien's head. Didn't see it right away. So Kennedy into second base with 2 outs. Tien froze, either didn't pick it up or he thought the ball was hit right to him.
Well, you really have to wonder. This is another changeup by Zach that stayed up and didn't go down like the previous pitch. But when you remember Josh Anderson in right field, he froze on a line drive just like Tien did, and then tried to, maybe they're not picking it up right away, but he had the speed to make up for it, where Mark didn't have the closing speed to make up for the late jump.
And now Davis. Zach's ahead 0-1. Davis flied out in the first inning, walked in the second. One and one. Well, the wind at least appears to be blowing in from the right field corner and moving right to left. So on one hand, with the wind blowing in from right, you would think that would knock a ball down, but every now and then a line drive will take off, much like a plane takes off into the wind. That's how it gets the elevation. And the wind the same tonight as it was last night, with the hot weather in the summer blasting out of the south. So some of those balls will be knocked down, some of them will actually carry into the wind.
Well, you know, in golf they call that a wind cheater. You know, you try to keep the ball teed low and just hit it through the wind. And so the line drives tend to cut through the wind, where your fly balls tend to back up and lose speed. Now, if you get one with the wind now, it'll just keep going.
2-2 on Davis. Slugger, as always, in the spirit. He has quite a wardrobe.
Yes, he does.
An outfit for every occasion.
I wasn't too sure about the 70s look.
4 strikeouts for Greinke. And the A's are scoreless in the 4th. She is in the center of the screen. We hear that she was very responsible for helping us on the Afghanistan side to get everyone up early in the morning and participating tonight so they could enjoy the Royals and the A's game. So thank you, Janet. And as the Royals come up in the bottom of the 4th inning, Alberto Callaspo reaches with a single to right. The Royals down by 1 have the tying run on with nobody out. And Mike Jacobs coming up. Don't forget, you can text your thoughts to the troops over in Afghanistan at 432-432. Enter keyword KC, a space, and your message. And don't forget to include your name and the town you're writing from, as Jacobs launches it deep to right field. Back goes Sweeney, and the Royals have taken the lead. Jacobs hits his 15th, and the Royals have officially erased the early 3-0 deficit.
Well, we know he was due to get hot, Ryan, and he hadn't been hot in a while. And when he's on, he's on. Like I said, he doesn't hit any cheap home runs. When he hit them, they're gone. They want this down and in, which is really a dangerous place to pitch him, and the ball doesn't move. And he knew right away. As soon as that ball made contact with the bat, it was gone. Well, the people in the party porch haven't been getting a lot of action, so they're really excited to see that ball fall in there.
Back goes Davis, back to back. So two hitters who have lost quite a bit of playing time lately are responsible for putting the Royals back out in front, and now they acknowledge each other in the Royals dugout.
That's a happy dugout for sure, Ryan. Now Miguel takes a little light sinker out over the plate, and he just got real good follow through on it. And you can tell when he gets that little hop in his after he hits the ball, he thinks he's got it. This is a deep home run right to the end of the party porch. He's heard that sound before.
Fouled away by Alex Gordon. And a nice catch. Barehanded catch by that fan on the Oliva home run on the far center field side of the Pepsi party porch. Alex struck out his first time up.
The guy that didn't make the catch celebrated a lot harder than the guy that did.
Hey, somebody made the catch.
Outstanding play.
Well, the Royals scoreless in the first 2 innings, with Mortensen striking out 5. And now the Royals with 2 in the 3rd and 3 here in the 4th, still nobody out.
Batting 8th is third baseman Alex Gordon.
And Alex just fouled.
Alex has gone through the two hands on the bat, Ryan, and he really turned on this ball on the inner half, and he just missed by about 6-7 inches down that foul line.
And a walk, and that's the third for Mortensen. The Royals have really adjusted to him well. First time through the order, the Royals had an infield single, and that was it. A couple of walks. And now second time through the order, the Royals have 4 hits and a walk, and they've scored 4 of their 5 runs. Betancourt reached with that infield single in the 3rd inning and scored on a De Jesus double. He was thinking about laying one down.
Royals have been doing a real good job laying off that ball down. They've been making Mortensen get the ball up, and we make him get it up, you got a better chance to drive it, and they've been doing a real good job of it.
Just foul to the third base side. That looked more like a bunt for a base hit than a sac bunt. Betancourt with the league lead and sacrifice bunts with 10. Part of that because he can control the bat, but a much bigger part of that was a result of the team he was playing for coming to the Royals as the Seattle Mariners. That is just a part of their game. The top 3 sac bunters in the league started the year with the Mariners. Two and one. Betancourt with 10. Ronnie Cedeno with 9 while he was with the Mariners. He has since been traded away like Betancourt was. And Franklin Gutierrez also has 9.
He also has the kind of back control that if Trey Hillman wanted to put a hit and run on, he could do that also. So he could be a pretty instrumental guy in your lineup to be used in a lot of different ways.
Alex has stolen 3 bases, 2 since coming back from the disabled list, and he hasn't been thrown out yet. And Alex is running. Betancourt swings and misses, and Alex is safe. Got past the tag of Ellis. The A's want interference on Betancourt. Home plate umpire Jeff Kellogg isn't going for it. Bob Guerin, a former Major League catcher, and now the manager of the A's, comes out to argue it.
Well, you can see after the swing, he fell out across the plate. So it's whether or not the umpire feels like he made contact with Suzuki before he made the throw. It just didn't appear that there was any contact there. Now, Bob Guerin, being a catcher himself, is probably going to argue this play a little bit harder than probably he should.
You know, just watching the play from up here, the first complaint came from the dugout. It didn't come from Kurt Suzuki. And typically, when there's interference like that, immediately the catcher will turn to the umpire. And not that the umpire can't make the call on his own, but it certainly helps the umpire if he sees some sort of reaction from the catcher. But it was almost as if the dugout started yelling, and then Suzuki said something to the umpire. And if that's the case, well, that's too late.
That's too late, and normally you go by contact, and it didn't appear that there was any contact. You know, Unieski Bedcourt did fall across the plate after this swing, but you can see where Suzuki went ahead with his throw, and there was no contact on the play at all.
Now, I think if there's contact right away, he immediately looks to the umpire, but he looked down to second base, realized the runner was safe, heard something from the dugout, and then turned to the umpire.
Right.
Did he get a piece? First base umpire Scott Berry is pointing to the ground. So he really helped out Jeff Kellogg there, telling Jeff Kellogg that the ball was in the dirt first before it went into Suzuki's glove, which means no strikeout. Left side and through. Alex will stop at third, and runners in the corners with nobody out.
After a long drought, Ryan, the Raw's hitters are starting to get some breaks. This is a two-seamer sinking in on Bedcourt's hands, and he was able to get it through the hole between third and short. But they're starting to get a lot of base hits now. They're starting to have some luck because they weren't getting that much luck going into this series.
David DeJesus doubled hung the Royals' first run in the third inning, and then he scored on a sac fly from Butler. Ball one inside. Both pitchers have thrown a lot of pitches tonight. Zach Greinke is up over 80 in his 4 innings, and so is Clay Mortensen. So those two averaging more than 20 pitches per inning. And as we talked about earlier, you can add some pitches onto that with the heat and humidity. That's Edgar Gonzalez warming up in the bullpen. So the number for Mortensen says 84, but his body might be saying 104.
Well, that's true. This time of year, Ryan, this is when your conditioning kicks in. This is all the work you've done leading up to August, and all these starts for the pitchers and innings. You know, it goes back to conditioning and what kind of condition you are to get through this month of August. It can be pretty tough.
Now, you don't want to leave a young pitcher out there to die, but at the same time, the A's have some young pitchers, including Mortensen, who's making his debut. You want to see if they can pitch through this. Mortensen is the A's 12th starter that they've used this year. The 7th different rookie they've used. DeJesus swinging on 3-0, launches it, but it's well fouled. And this is also the 8th consecutive game that the Oakland A's have had a rookie start a game. A lot of youth, a lot of inexperience, a lot of talent, obviously, with that fine line that Bob Guerin has to walk. You want them to learn something, see if they can pitch out of it, but at the same time, you don't want to leave them out there too long.
Well, that's true, Ryan. I agree with that all the way. And they've been doing a real good job, kind of. I don't want to use the word babying them through, but just really paying attention to the situations. They've a lot of visits to the mound that they've been out there. In last night's game, early in this game, so they're really paying attention to make sure they don't lose their focus and their concentration.
3 runs home for the Royals in this inning on back-to-back home runs from Jacobs and Olivo. And now the Royals have Gordon at third, Betancourt at first, nobody out. And thinking that Betancourt might take off, Mortensen fakes to third, looks to first. Betancourt runs this time into Jesus, lines it to left. Hairston is there. The Royals will get another run as Gordon comes down from third. And the Royals have taken a 6-3 lead. Well, we've been showing you the Missouri National Guard back in Afghanistan, and a lot of their family and friends are here at Kauffman Stadium tonight.
Hey, my name's Sarah Gross. I'm from St. Joseph, Missouri, and I want to give a shout out to Staff Sergeant Douglas Pierce. What up, yo?
Betancourt runs and is gunned down by Suzuki. Blomquist swinging, may have been a hit and run, especially since Willie was swinging out of the strike zone. The Royals steal a base against Suzuki in the inning, and now Suzuki throws a Royal out. So 2 down, nobody on.
He tried to evade the tag, but that was a real good tag by Pennington on that throw. I tell you, when you get that hit and run against Blomquist, when they go the ball out of the zone like that, sometimes you just got to let your back go. Anything you can do to try to foul that ball off and protect that runner going down to second base.
And now Willie cranks it to left, and Hairston got a good jump and runs it down. The Royals come up with 4. Jacobs hits a 2-run home run. Olivo drives in a run to Jesus with a sac fly.
You gonna say anything, Ethan? No. Say something. You gonna say hi to your daddy?
Well, it doesn't matter what it is. If a young kid doesn't know what to do with it, just put it in your mouth. Who knows? Maybe it tastes good. Royals are ahead 6-3 as we go to the top of the 5th inning, and Zach Greinke getting off to a slow start and allowing 3 runs in the 2nd inning, but getting some run support as the Royals come back and now lead by 3.
Well, that's got to make it feel good, Ryan. I tell you that getting past that first inning, it looked like he was going to be okay, but then the pitch count started him out, the deep count started him out. It got down by 3 runs, but the Royals been able to come back on the big home run by Jacobs and Olivo, and some really nice timely base hits.
And he gets an out on 2 pitches, retiring Scott Hairston, who had 3 RBIs for the A's last night. So 1 down, and Jack Cuss to the plate. Jack has struck him out, and he's gotten him out on a line out to center field. No balls, 1 strike. Once again, we'd like to acknowledge our great Royals sponsors who have made tonight's special broadcast possible. These companies are essential partners with Fox Sports Kansas City in all of our Royals games. So we want to thank them for their support of the men and women serving in the United States Armed Forces. One and 1 to Cust. Jack Cuss now just 1 for 12 against Zach Greinke with 7 strikeouts, make it 1 for 13, 2 down.
Hi, this is Bruce Chen. I want to thank all the armed forces for all the sacrifices you have made in keeping us safe. We really appreciate your effort.
Royals in Fox Sports Kansas City tonight, saluting our uniform heroes. Great deals for military, fire, and police personnel do all 3 games of this weekend series with the A's, and we're thrilled tonight to be linked up via satellite with the Missouri National Guard in Jalalabad, Afghanistan. A lot of their family and friends are here tonight. One ball, 1 strike on Suzuki, who has 2 hits against Zach tonight and has scored 1 of the runs. And pitch number 93 is rolled to Butler. So with a high pitch count, Zach needed that. An 8-pitch, 5th inning. Royals lead by 3.
I miss you a lot, Ron, and I love you.
Morgan Green, Sturceville, Missouri. Love you, Dad, and miss you.
Courtney Nixon, miss you, Ron.
Madison Green, Stewartsville, Missouri. Love you, Dad.
Silje Jensen, Denmark, miss you, Ron.
You go. Say something. I'm John Green, Ron, Dad. I'm from Kidder, Missouri. Hi, Ron.
Hey, Ron, I'm Bill.
Rachel Green, Cameron, Missouri. We love you, Ron.
Paul Green, Ron Green's oldest son. Hey, Dad. Hope you have a fun time.
Michael Green, Stewartsville, Missouri. Hi, Dad.
Hi, I'm Val, Kansas City, Missouri. My brother Ron, love you.
Hi, I'm Jonna Grooms, Kidder, Missouri. Ron, we love you. Miss you.
Well, Ron, you're a popular guy. I think Ron must have the biggest group of people here tonight with the friends and family of the Missouri National Guard as Butler drills it over Hairston's head. And Billy with yet another double, his 34th of the year. So Ron getting a chance to see his friends and family and some guy, Bill, who just happened to be sitting near him. But Bill making sure that he was in the spirit of things.
Oh, definitely.
Microphone gets passed to you. You say hi to Ron.
We're going to talk about Billy Butler right now, Ryan. He is really hot. I mean, everything he hit is not only hit hard, it's traveling. And he's just using both lines. And this ball here, Harrison had very, very little time to even react to this ball. He hit it so well.
Martin dropping one down towards third. First and third, nobody out. The Royals showing a lot of creativity tonight on offense.
That's it. This is very creative. This is kind of baseball that we've been talking about all year. Just recognizing what you can take advantage of and And Martin does an outstanding job right here.
So Mortensen doesn't get an out in the 5th inning. Edgar Gonzalez is in.
William Green, son from Vienna, Missouri. Saying hi to John Green and the Hotbed.
Our intern Kyle Haas, who goes to Fort Hays State, along with cameraman Mickey Larson, working hard in the heat to track down the family and friends. of the Missouri National Guard, joining us via satellite tonight from Jalalabad, Afghanistan. And they're enjoying the game as the Royals lead by 3, and now they've gotten into the A's bullpen in the bottom of the 5th inning. Butler at third, Tien at first, and Edgar Gonzalez pitched to Alberto Callaspo. Alberto walked in the 2nd inning and then singled and scored on Jacobs' home run in the 4th. One ball, one strike. Butler opened the inning with a double. And Mark Tien getting him over to third and reaching himself with a bunt single. Two balls, one strike. A couple of guys that go way back. Both Gonzalez and Callaspo played in the Diamondbacks organization, and both are from Venezuela. And Callaspo wins the battle, driving in Butler at 7-3. Alberto with his 2nd hit tonight.
Just up out over the plate, and that left-handed, he really can roll those wrists at left-handed more so than right-handed. Goes the other way, but did a real good job getting those hands through the zone and hitting that hard ground ball through the infield.
Still nobody out, and here's Mike Jacobs, who had a 2-run home run in the 4th inning. Got a pitch up there and fouled it away. Fan out there tried to catch that ball with what looked like a rather large beverage cup, or maybe even a popcorn cup. And now nobody can find the ball. Look at that.
Oh, I just took it right out of his hand. They're looking for the cup and everything.
That guy lost his popcorn. Jacobs has driven in 3 in the first 2 games of the series.
Jacobs, and I just want to thank all of our military out there. Just want to say thanks for everything you guys do. Because of you guys, we get to play this wonderful game that we get to play. You know, keep up the good work for us, and we all truly appreciate it.
Great stop by Suzuki. He made that look easy. That is one of the more difficult balls to block.
Well, you're right, Ryan. This ball, that curveball, that spike short, it's going to go back the other way, but he did an outstanding job just staying with it. You see how the ball goes back, and he just stayed with it and came up ready to throw.
Rolled to the right side, and Gonzalez just getting the ball and getting to the line to get Jacobs. But it's a productive out because both runners move up. Tien to third, and Callaspo up to second base. So I'm sure that's not what Jacobs had in mind when he went to the plate, but everyone's lined up to shake his hand as he comes back into the dugout.
Well, anytime you can advance those runners in the scoring position with less than 2 outs, that's a good job, and he did an outstanding job of just rolling over on that ball. And I mean, I'm sure, like you said, Ryan, that's not what he wanted, but it turned out well for the Royals.
Well, the Royals didn't get off to a very good start tonight in the 2nd inning. Back-to-back walks against Mortensen, who came back to strike out the next 3. But in the next 3 innings, the Royals have been getting runners on, getting them over, and getting them in. And now the infield in halfway. So Miguel Olivo will be looking for a pitch up to get to the outfield. Not that pitch.
Yeah, what as a hitter in this situation, what you want to try to do is when the infield is in and halfway, you want to think something up so you can drive the ball to the outfield. If they're back in their regular positions, then you can think down and try to hit a ground ball.
Gets away from Suzuki and just dives up against the net, so he doesn't get a bounce. So Tien comes down to score, and the Royals take an 8-3 lead.
He did a tough job blocking the curveball, Ryan, with this hard slider. He just didn't have a chance to slide over and get in front of it, and it just went right underneath his arm and back to the wall. Like you said, it just didn't move once he hit the wall.
Now the infield all the way in with Callaspo at third base, and Gonzalez dropping down with a slider. It's 1-2 on Olivo. That takes some of the pressure off of Miguel, but not all of it. Royals lead by 5 now, but situation still the same for him. Runner at third with less than 2 outs.
Right, you saw a lot of good things already in this game from the Royals offense, so you just hope some of it carries over for the rest of the season, and mainly just recognizing how important it is to do these fundamental things and get yourself in a position to score some runs and see how well it does work.
Now 2-2. Well, the Royals have done it all tonight. They've hit home runs, they have bunt singles, they've moved runners, sacrificed flies. Just missed. Olivo, originally from the A's organization and traded to the White Sox, where he made his major league debut, and still lives in California with his family, going back to when he was in the A's system. Back to Gonzalez. Callaspo in a rundown, trying to stand there long enough for Olivo to get to second, and Olivo beats the throw. So 2 down. Well, now it's coming up on, if I'm doing my math correct, about 5:15 in the morning in Jalalabad, Afghanistan. So they're getting a little bit of sunlight as we are losing ours. Alex into the dugout suite on the first base side. Alex has scored a run tonight, walked, stole his 4th base back in the 4th inning, and scored on DeJesus, sacrifice fly. Down, no balls, 2 strikes. You know, one thing we get here in Missouri is all types of flyovers, all types of aircraft. One and 2 to Alex.
Yeah, with Whiteman Air Force Base being so close, it's just nice to have that comforting feeling. This might be one of the safest places to be, and then again, it may not be. Right, but I tell you what, it's fun to be able to go down and take that tour. You know, be able to go inside the stealth bomber, and that was really neat.
And in fairness to both sides of the state line, we've also taken our share of caravans to Fort Riley, and they've given us tours of the Bradley tanks.
One of the neatest things I did in Wichita was tour the air base there where they have big refueling tankers. I mean, those things are huge.
Still 1-2 to Alex.
I had an opportunity to ride in one of those Black Hawk helicopters one time, Ryan, and I tell you, the noise they make, you have to wear earplugs once you get in there. You get all strapped in, and the nice thing, you put your earplugs in, they just go straight up, and they can go something like 200 miles an hour. So it's just an interesting ride.
You've been in one of those?
Yes.
Wow. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, this has been a good stretch of games for the Royals as far as getting the offense going. They haven't won a whole lot of games, but with the Seattle series, and even though the Royals scored only 4 runs last night, including tonight's game, that's 32 runs scored for the Royals in their last 5 games, and we're only in the bottom of the 5th inning tonight. Royals are taking advantage of some inexperience on the mound. This is the 3rd straight night the Royals were facing a pitcher that they had never faced before. Clay Mortensen, who was knocked out after 4 innings, faced Vin Mazzaro, the A's, last night. Jason Vargas on Thursday night against Seattle. Into shallow left, and Hairston is there, and that's the inning. But the Royals add on 2 more, and at the end of 5 have a 5-run lead. Says she's coming home in a few days, but her sister thinks she's coming home in 3 weeks.
Uh-oh.
So we may have just blown the surprise. Everidge into right field and a leadoff base hit against Greinke in the 6th inning. So Zach has a 5-run lead. That was his 94th pitch of the night. Royals were down 3-0 at the end of 2 innings. But 2 in the 3rd, 4 in the 4th, and 2 more in the 5th inning to take a 5-run lead. Ryan Sweeney singled and scored in the A's 3-run 2nd inning and grounded out in the 3rd. Zach has walked 2. He has struck out 4. One and 2. The last time the Royals scored this many runs for Zach Greinke was almost 3 months ago. Back on May the 15th, Greinke and the Royals beat Baltimore 8-1. Two and 2 on Sweeney. Full count. Typically, pitchers don't like to have a whole lot of time in between innings, even though they enjoy their team scoring a lot of runs. But on a night like tonight, it's a chance for a pitcher to go in and change his undershirt, cool down,
get back in the air conditioning.
And Zach gets a double play. 2 out, nobody on.
Hi, I'm Senator Claire McCaskill. Baseball is truly an American sport, and that's why I'm so happy that some of our National Guard members are able to get a taste of home today as they enjoy this game halfway around the world in Afghanistan, where they are doing truly groundbreaking work that is improving people's lives each day. We couldn't be prouder of you and your service or more thankful for the sacrifices you and your families have willingly made for our country. Go Royals. Like the color?
We do like the color. And some of the members of the Missouri National Guard have been wearing blue as they watch from Afghanistan, and they watch Zach Greinke pitch a scoreless 6. We played 5.5. Royals lead 8-3.
Thanks for keeping us safe. You guys rock. Bye.
Jane Lackey, Family Readiness Coordinator of the 139th. We are here taking care of your families. Can't wait till you get home. See you soon.
Chief Master Sergeant Steve Gabriel with the 139th Airlift Wing. I'm from St. Joe. Wishing the best to the troops over there. Thanks.
And family and friends of the Missouri National Guard are in Section 420 tonight with the yellow shirts and the yellow thunder sticks cheering on the Royals and sending best wishes to family and friends who are serving in Jalalabad, Afghanistan. The Agri-Business Development Team, 58-member team, Missouri National Guard Army and Air members from all across Missouri, providing support to local farmers and leaders. And as we pointed out a couple of times tonight, the Missouri National Guard was the first in the nation to have an Agri-Business Development Team in 2007. The current team arrived in December 08, and they're expected to return in November of 09. Brian Pena, who became a U.S. citizen this past off-season, has something to pass along.
Gracias a todos nuestros militares por protegernos y por darnos una buena calidad de vida.
Frank?
He was saying how happy he was to be an American citizen, and he wanted to say thanks to the troops and the sacrifices they're making for our freedoms here in the United States.
Wow.
That's what I would say.
Oh, okay. We just said that so casually, like, well, I know what he said. Unieski Betancourt is 2 for 2 with a run scored.
We'll have to ask him tomorrow why he did it in Spanish.
He speaks perfectly good English. In fact, Brian's been used on several occasions to serve as an interpreter for some of the Royals where English is a second language and still not comfortable yet speaking in an interview format. These messages coming by way of text, and if you'd like to add yours, text 432-432, keyword KC, a space, and your message, which will scroll across the bottom of the screen, not only in the Midwest, but back in Jalalabad, Afghanistan. And don't forget to include your name and where you're texting from, like Richard in Columbia. 2-0 on David DeJesus. He has driven in 2 runs tonight. That gives him 53 on the year, and second only to Billy Butler's 55. Two and one. Royals getting all 8 runs against rookie Clay Mortensen, making his A's debut. And Gonzalez taking over in the 5th inning with 2 on and nobody out. He allowed both of those inherited runners to score. They were charged to Mortensen. And he was very late coming out of the dugout after the A's were done batting in the top of the 6th. Visiting with manager Bob Guerin and the A's athletic trainer, convincing them that he was all right, and without having any information, you could see him really doing a number on the fluids on a hot, humid night. And obviously dehydration is always an issue on a day like today. DeJesus lines out to deep center, 2 down in the 6th inning. And with dehydration, cramps, dizziness.
Yeah, you have to drink a lot of fluids, Ryan. You got to replace those electrolytes with Gatorade, Pedialyte, whatever you might want to use to replace them. But usually when you know you got a pitcher on a hot day, you usually start the day before in hydrating. For the game tomorrow afternoon, which is supposed to be a hot day, they really should have started hydrating today for tomorrow.
Strike one to Willie Bloomquist.
It's a good day to get out the ammonia capsules, you know, and just get a little whiff of that. That'll clear your sinuses up a little bit on a hot day and perk you up a little bit.
And it's going to be a hot one tomorrow, an afternoon game between the Royals and the A's. A 1:10 game, no TV, so you can catch the game on the Royals radio network. Royals have Monday off and then begin a 9-game road trip in Minnesota on Tuesday. Royals will go to Minnesota, Detroit, and Chicago, so 9 games against the Central Division. And right now, those are the top 3 teams in the Central Division. Still 1-2. Two and two. Willie 0 for 3, but helped set up one of the Royals' runs in the 2-run third inning by hitting a ground ball to the right side with David DeJesus at second base, and then David coming home on a sac fly from Billy Butler. Well, now that the Royals have acquired a shortstop in Unievsky Betancourt and a center fielder in Josh Anderson, now Trey Hillman might have more of a challenge of getting Willie Bloomquist in the lineup. Willie had been playing a lot of shortstop and center field since injuries to Mike Aviles and Coco Crisp. Fouls the changeup away. It's still 2-2. Deep short, Pennington bobbles, and that's enough for Bloomquist to reach. So Willie picks up an infield single. He's 1 for 4.
Well, Pennington gets in pretty good shape around, but this ball bounces up a little higher and hits him on the heel of his glove. And talking to Art Stewart, he said Willie consistently is 4-1, 4-1.5 to first base, so that would have been a tough play for him to make.
And 0-1 to Billy Butler. Billy is doubled and scored, driven in a run, is tied a career high from last year with 55 RBIs. And he's got his average up to 297. One ball, one strike. This is that point in the game, and this is especially true in afternoon games when you have to deal with the heat, with the sun very high in the sky. The guys can usually hold it together for about 6 innings, 7 innings, 2.5 hours or so, and then the heat really begins to wear both teams down. Bloomquist was running, and that's into the corner. So more extra bases for Butler as Bloomquist scores from first, and the Royals lead 9-3.
So Billy's done a good job getting the ball up, Ryan, and out over the plate, and he just really hitting the ball where it's pitched. And I talked to him about it. He said, "I'm just looking for ball, and wherever it is, I'm just trying to attack it." And that's what he did with this ball out over the plate. Just attacked it right down the right field line.
Well, having not seen as many games as you have in this type of weather in this ballpark, but it seems like there comes a point where everyone begins to wear down. And as we watch Edgar Gonzalez go to the back of the mound and run his fingers through his sopping wet hair and taking a little bit more time in between pitches to catch his breath, the defense has been standing around in this heat, and at times the game can get sloppy in the last 2 or 3 innings.
Well, you're right. The longer it goes, the longer you're on defense, the better chance of that, your reaction time, so forth. But the good thing is that the sun's not beating down on you, but you're on the field a long time. And then when you're on the field in this heat, it gets to your legs. Your legs try to get heavy, and everything is slow motion after that. And that's why tomorrow's game is going to be crucial to the team that pitches best and gets their team off the field the fastest. And that's where the advantage is going to come.
During A's batting practice, we were on the field, and 3 different members of the A's, Mark Ellis, Ty Waller, the bench coach, and Mike Gallego, the third base coach, all came up to Frank and said, "How did you do it when they had the turf here?" They all said the exact same thing.
Well, I just did a lot of ice tubs, what we call cold tubs. We go in and we get the water down about 60 degrees, and I just get it up to my waist, and then they add more ice to it, and you turn the jets on and get a lot colder. So I would do that before the game, and then I would do it after the game. And between innings, I would leave a pair of shoes inside the air-conditioned clubhouse, so I would change shoes every 2 innings, so I wouldn't have to stand in the ice and pour water in my shoes and things like that. But they had ice trays lined up the tunnel, so guys were doing pretty much everything just for that one day. That was Sunday afternoon. And the most important thing was who's pitching that day.
Hopefully somebody works fast, right?
Somebody that throws strikes and get you off the field.
Now, you told me, and somehow this doesn't surprise me, that you would go with the ice water up to the waist, but George would go all the way under with a snorkel?
Oh, he was an animal, I tell you. I was afraid my heart would stop. But he just get a snorkel, and then they put a couple more buckets of ice on top of him, and when you turn those jets on, I mean, it gets pretty cold. But I tell you what, for the legs and rejuvenation, it's a godsend, really.
Gonzalez strikes out Tien. Royals add a run and lead by 6. National Guard have been up all night to watch the Royals and the A's. And Lieutenant Colonel, does this help maybe a little bit you and the rest of the National Guard feel like you're at home?
Oh, absolutely. It's a tremendous morale boost. We got to come over to a different base, and they took care of us, hooking us up with all the shout-outs to our family. We get to see the family members over the TV and watch a great baseball game. We really appreciate the Royals and everybody that's hooked us up with this entire evening.
Well, in bits and pieces, Lieutenant Colonel, we've been learning quite a bit about what the agribusiness development team is doing over there, 58 members. And give us a sense of the morale of you and the rest of the troops and some of the great things you've been able to do for the folks in Afghanistan.
Sure. We've been here about 8.5 months now. I think morale is pretty high. I think they're doing a tremendous job, and that's because the morale is so high. You know, we came together from 40-some different units to form these 58 folks, and I tell you, they've really just banded together, bonded very well, and done a really great job. Some of the things we're doing is we're really out there working on the development side and the economic development side for the farmers of Nangarhar province, and you know, everything from watersheds to cold storage and everything. That, you know, this is one of the poorest countries in the world, and it's not only poor, it's got the conflict going on, but the soldiers and airmen that you see sitting around me, and along with all their teammates, are really bringing some development out to the people, the impoverished people that really need it.
Sir, you guys are doing such an outstanding job for our country. My question is, what's the most common form of communication between you and your loved ones back here in the United States?
That's a great question. You know, we struggled early on to get our communication straight, but at this point in time, we've got some cell phones that can reach back. They're a little bit expensive. We've got some satellite network that we've got internet with, so we can Skype back to our families and get them on video links. And then every once in a while, you know, we can just get on the email from the offices and also from our personal computers. So it's probably a combination of all three of those.
And Lieutenant Colonel, you know, many prayers are going out for you and troops all around the world every day, making sure that you stay out of harm's way. And since we have this opportunity with you via satellite and your friends and family are watching, how safe are you in Afghanistan?
Well, God bless everyone that's sending those prayers to us, because it really is keeping us safe. We think that we're pretty safe. We think we're safe for a few reasons. First and foremost, God's looking after us. Second is, you know, all the soldiers and airmen, the people sitting right next to me, who do a great job of taking care of me and everybody else on the team. We've worked our techniques, our tactics, and our procedures very, very well to make sure that if we're going to be in any kind of danger or any kind of hostile fire engagement, that we're going to know our jobs very well and we're going to be well taken care of. And we've got the right equipment as well.
Well, with those men around you, can you take the mic off and allow some of them to identify themselves and say hello to friends and family back home?
You bet. There you go, pass it around, guys. I'm John Green.
Hi, I'm Sergeant John Green from Vienna, Missouri. Just wanted to say hi to my grandma. I know it's early, but happy birthday.
I'm Staff Sergeant Steinbrook. I live in Sedalia, Missouri. I want to say hi to my daughter, my girlfriend Christy, and her son Connor, and everybody back home at Terracon. I'll be back to work when I get back, and y'all have a good time of the game.
Hey, this is Alan Bennett. I just want to say hi to my wife Debbie and my daughter Savannah in Brooklyn, my mom and dad, and my cousin John, Really appreciate what you guys are doing for me, and I love you all. Take care.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Herring from St. Joseph, Missouri.
I'm Staff Sergeant Seth Mack with the 139th Security Forces Squadron out of St. Joe, Missouri. Wanted to say hi to all friends and family back home, and here in a few months we'll be back.
I'm Ron Green. Just wanted to say hi to all of you. I saw all of you. I love you, Paula. I love the rest of you.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Russell Don from New Haven, Missouri. I'd like to say happy birthday to my stepdad, Rich. Hi, Mom and Dad, and I love you, Cassini.
Specialist Daniel Lee of Overland Park, Kansas. I say hi, Mom and Dad, Brian, Rachel. Love you guys. I'll be seeing you guys soon.
Staff Sergeant Richard Robinson from St. Joseph, Missouri. I'd just like to say thank you to my family for winning the game. Hope you win soon. Love you all.
Hi, I'm Senior Airman Brandow from Kansas City, Kansas. I'd like to wish my mom a happy birthday.
Well, Mr. Lefevre and Mr. White, that's the team.
A great team it is.
Well, we couldn't have timed it any better as you were introducing yourselves and saying hello to family and friends back here in the Midwest. It was the seventh inning
really
stretch,
and
they were playing God Bless America. And God bless all of you. We know you got to go to work. Thank you so much for spending some time. I'm sure you consider it a joy for us to bring you the game, but it really was.
Well, God bless America.
It really is a joy for us to connect with you, and it makes it all a lot more real for us to see you in Afghanistan. And we hope you come home soon and you come home safe.
Well, stay safe, guys.
Thank you all very much. God bless you all. Take care.
And once again, we'd like to acknowledge our great Royal sponsors who made tonight's special broadcast possible. These companies are partners with Fox Sports Kansas City in all of our Royals games. And once again, we'd like to thank these companies for their support of the men and women serving in the United States Armed Forces. And it's a beautiful night in Kansas City. As far as the weather goes, and as far as the scoreboard looks, as the Royals lead 9-3 to the bottom of the seventh inning. And at one point, the Royals were down 3-0, but Zach Greinke giving the Royals 7 innings tonight. Alberto Callaspo, who has 2 hits and a run driven in, flies out to center field. As Edgar Gonzalez begins his second full inning of work. Royals getting all 8 runs against right-hander Clay Mortensen. Mortensen really had 2 different starts tonight. First time for the order, he was dominant. Royals getting just an infield single among the first 9 hitters to face Mortensen, and he struck out 5. But second time through, Royals getting 2 runs in the 3rd inning and 4 in the 4th, adding 2 more in the 5th. Those runs scored after Mortensen had departed, but charged to him. The Royals really made an adjustment against him second and 3rd time through. Mike Jacobs hit a 2-run home run in the Royals' 4-run 4th inning. His team leading 15th home run of the year. And he went too far on that swing. It's 1-1. One ball, 2 strikes. Royals with a chance to blow out the A's tonight after the A's have blown out the Royals in the first 3 meetings, outscoring KC 28-9. including last night's win 9-4. And hit hard to right center. Sweeney won't track it down. A two-hit game for Mike Jacobs. And both hits for extra bases.
I tell you, you really got to root for Mike Jacobs, Ryan. He does a good job here of just getting a pitch in his wheelhouse and dropping that home run in the fourth inning there, and then coming up this inning here. And this is the double right here. It's almost the same identical pitch, same swing, and results in a double. You just got to pull for this guy because he's a great teammate.
Olivo into shallow center. And that's the second out. Olivo and Jacobs had back-to-back home runs in the fourth inning. It was Olivo's 15th, tying Jacobs for the team lead. So 2 down with Jacobs at second base, and now Alex Gordon. Alex 0 for 2 with a walk, a stolen base, and he scored in the Royals' 4-run fourth. Going for it all. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, last night the big stat for the Royals on offense was runners left on base. They stranded 12, scoring just 4 runs. Tonight they have scored 9 and only stranded 4.
They're better numbers.
Down on strikes. The inning is over.
Citizen soldiers overseas and their families here at home. Through their work, these Missourians are literally sowing the seeds of peace throughout Afghanistan. A peaceful Afghanistan is not just important to the people in the villages and and mountains of South Asia, it's critical to our own family security here at home. Our Missouri Guard is helping win the war and the peace in Afghanistan. Thanks to them, we all are safer. God bless our troops, their families, and God bless America.
Thank you, Senator. And we have linked up on a couple of occasions tonight with Missouri National Guard in Jalalabad, Afghanistan, as they enjoy a Royals 9-3 lead into the 8th inning. And Zach Greinke, who was in trouble early and had thrown 85 pitches at the end of 4, really put it together in the last 3 innings and goes 7 for the Royals tonight, giving up just those 3 runs as the A's were scoreless against Zach in his last 5 innings. So Zach gets it to the 8th, and Jamie Wright going to face Aaron Cunningham, who's batting here for Scott Hairston, and Jack Cust and Kurt Suzuki. Hairston finishes the night 0 for 3. Alberto Callaspo. So Jamie Wright, the ground ball specialist, gets a ground ball for out number 1 in the 8th. I want to thank everyone that sent in text messages tonight. Scrolling across the bottom of the screen, and those messages going directly to Jalalabad, Afghanistan, and also to 176 other countries on the American Forces Network. So they're watching all over the world, including on ships at sea. Jack Cust 0 for 3 tonight. Now 3-0 on Jack Cust. Royals have not pitched Joakim Soria since this past Sunday, so coming up on a week. And if Jamie Wright gets the job done, this will be far from a save opportunity in the 9th inning. But with a day off coming up on Monday, wonder if just at least for the sake of getting some work, Trey Hillman might call on Soria.
That probably wouldn't be a bad idea, Ryan, with the day out coming up.
So even if he needs him again tomorrow, everyone gets to regroup on Monday.
Right.
As we were talking to the Missouri National Guard in Afghanistan, Josh Anderson last inning moved into right field and handled the final out of the A's top of the 7th inning. So Anderson in there for Mark Teahan. And this is Landon Powell, the A's backup catcher, hitting for Kurt Suzuki. Suzuki 2 out of 3 were the runs scored tonight. Jamie Wright having a tough time throwing strikes, and now hearing it from the fans. He had fallen behind Cunningham, got a ground ball from him, and then a 4-pitch walk to Cust. It's been a long night in the heat, and there's a lot of people here tonight that are in a big hurry to see the Royals celebrate this victory. Swinging on 2-0. It's 2 balls, 1 strike.
Get the victory and get some air conditioning so they can relax a little bit better than being out in the stifling humidity.
Jack Cust takes off, and that's going to be a double play. And the A's scoreless in the 8th. Royals lead 9-3. He's a broadcast major at Fort Hays State, and during this homestand, Kyle, like Joel Goldberg, has been giving us a tour of Kauffman Stadium.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. During my internship, Joel Goldberg has not only shown me, but all the viewers out there, this beautiful new ballpark. However, there is one thing he happened to miss, and that's here where I'm at in the Diamond Club. Emblazoned on the ceiling are all the Royals Hall of Famers illuminating the Diamond Club. So when people are in here, they should definitely take the opportunity and look up. Back to you guys.
Well, not only has Kyle been very smooth on the air, a college intern on a major league broadcast, but he dropped emblazoned and illuminating in the same sentence.
That's college.
So right now, producer Kevin Shank is going to run a dictionary up here to the booth so we can look those 2 words up.
Illuminating is they're lit up, right?
Okay. You want to tackle emblazoned now?
Dazzling. I'll leave that for that world-renowned School of Education.
It's the world-renowned academic and athletic institution. Make sure you get it right.
The institution.
That's right.
You got to be careful. Careful how you use that word.
Yeah, exactly. And some of us have been institutionalized. Betancourt is out and a ground ball to short. Well, Edgar Gonzalez is doing for the A's tonight what Robinson Tejeda did for the Royals last night in a blowout loss, and with the starting pitcher coming out after 4 innings, Gonzalez has really picked up the bullpen. But Bob Guerin, after Clay Mortensen gave up 8 runs in 4 innings, might only have to use 1 reliever to get through the rest of the game. Mitch Meyer going to bat for David DeJesus. David driving in 2 runs with a double and a sac fly. Deep into the right field corner. Back goes Sweeney, and it's off the bottom of the wall. Meyer into second base with a 1-out double.
No, Mitch is a lot stronger than you think he is right here. Here he hits the ball toward the end of the bat, really, Ryan. This ball goes out and it leaves quick, but it kind of loses steam, but it's down the line in the corner. And then he was able to get a double real easy on this ball. But he's a guy that the Royals are sort of waiting for maybe a little more power to show up. You know, he's a big guy, he's strong, and they just want him to get to the point where he's driving the ball a little bit better.
Still looking for his first major league home run. Lundqvist going out of the strike zone, 0-1. Willie with an infield single and a run scored his last time up. 1 for 4 tonight. Tomorrow afternoon, it's Luke Hochevar going for his 7th win, and Brett Anderson, who is supposed to start tonight, will pitch for the A's. The A's calling up Clay Mortensen to take his spot, so Anderson moved to tomorrow. It's a 1:10 game. It will not be on Fox Sports Kansas City. We'll be back on the air on Tuesday night in Minnesota. Ryan Sweeney coming up, and that's the 2nd out.
Hey, this is Roman Colon from Kansas City. I'm going to give you a shout out to all the soldiers out in Iraq representing us, and I'm going to say thank you for all your support to try to keep us safe over here in the States. And I know everybody appreciate what y'all doing over there. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Roman Colon. Another productive night for Billy Butler. A couple of doubles. He's driven in 2 more runs. So now he has a new career high with 56 RBIs.
It's been really a lot of fun watching Billy go through this streak, Ryan. He's just using the whole field, and he's just a real. When you look how he hits right here, I mean, just take advantage of everything that the pitcher is throwing up there.
Well, he's driven in 3 tonight to add to the new career high, and that's his 3rd double tonight, his 36th double of the year.
I mean, you just watch this swing, and this ball just out over the plate, and he just stays inside of it. And I mean, if Kevin Sykes wants someone that he can put on the screen every day and let guys go and watch and say, this is what I'm talking about, then Billy Butler would be the guy that he would use.
36 doubles, by the way, is now the 2nd most in the American League. Only Brian Roberts with the Orioles has more at 38. That's also the second most in the major leagues. Anderson into left field, and Butler going to be waved home, going to test Aaron Cunningham, and now slams on the brakes. He may have done that on his own. It looked like Dave Owen was going to send him to the plate. But it's been a long, hot night, and the legs perhaps getting a little heavy.
Well, this situation here with such a big lead this late in the game, a lot of times you don't try to force that. That run in right there. But with Billy and Billy's lack of overall speed, you're probably going to run him into an out right there with 2 outs.
Well, he was waving him all the way, never put the stop sign up, but it appeared that Dave may have shouted something at Billy as they crossed paths, and that might have been where it was a verbal stop sign.
Yeah, normally you don't want to try to run the score up in that situation, so you kind of slow the scoring down when you got such a big lead with 3 outs to go. Well, he's waving all the way here, and now the arm stops, and now you might get a verbal command right there. So Billy's just fortunate that he was able to stop, because he was about a step past him when he started to really break it down.
Well, whether it was Dave Owen telling him or Billy stopping on his own, it appears that was the right decision, because the ball was arriving to the cutoff man, Adam Kennedy, not long after Billy had crossed third base. The Royals now with 34 runs in their last 5 games. It's 2-1 on Callaspo, who has 2 hits tonight. 10 runs tonight, the most for the Royals since the All-Star break. Three and 1. Edgar Gonzalez is trying to squeeze out one more pitch or one more out, and the strain is starting to show after going 3 2/3 out of the bullpen, trying to save the bullpen after the starter Clay Mortensen went just 4. Taking a lot of time in between pitches.
With a hot afternoon coming tomorrow, Ryan, this is good for them, because you want to be able to save as many guys for tomorrow's game. You don't know what the Heat's going to do tomorrow to the team, and you want to be able to.
Callaspo coming through to get Butler to the plate. It's 11-3. Second run driven in tonight for Alberto Callaspo. And remember, too, that the A's are playing game number 24 of a stretch of 28 games in 28 days. So they need as much help as possible as far as saving the bullpen.
Oh, definitely. And I tell you, if you got to start out early tomorrow, it could be a long day for the pen. So you want it to be as fresh as possible. And that's the second base hit that Caspo's got between second and first over there, just rolling his hands and pulling the ball, hitting hard on the ground, and was able to grab it and run with that RBI. I mean, he's got to be the quietest hitter that I think I've seen. Now, more quiet from the right side than the left side, but very little movement, a lot of hands, head moves very little, and uses his hands very well.
Well, Bob Guerin immediately wants to know what Kurt Young has to say as soon as he gets back to the dugout. And you can see that Edgar Gonzalez was telling Kurt Young, "I'm okay." Two hits, 2 extra base hits for Mike Jacobs, a 2-run home run and a double. So Jacobs in the first 2 games is 4 out of 6 against the A's with 3 driven in. One ball, one strike. One and two. Royals have scored in 5 of the last 6 innings after being down 3-0 at the end of 2. 2 in the 3rd. Their biggest inning was a 4-run 4th. 2 in the 5th. 1 in the 6th. Scoreless in the 7th. And they've added 2 in the 8th. Three balls, 2 strikes. Gonzalez just dripping wet. He's doing everything he can to keep his forehead and his fingers dry. Grabbing the dirt, grabbing the rosin bag, wiping his fingers on his pants. And now Jacobs goes into left field. The drive in his 3rd tonight and his 4th of the series, and Bob Guerin is already out of the dugout. So Gonzalez tried to give the A's the last 4 innings. And this is one of those games where it doesn't really matter what his line looks like. He really took one for the team. And Brad Ziegler, who grew up in Odessa, Missouri, comes in to pitch for the A's. Last year had 11 saves for Oakland. Trying to get the final out of the bottom of the 8th inning. And on one pitch, a ground ball to Kennedy from Miguel Olivo. And the low throw is handled by Everidge. Royals add 3 in the 8th. 3 outs to go. It's in almost a week. And Soria saved the game last Sunday in Tampa Bay. Joaquim, 18 out of 20 in save opportunities. And the league hitting just 188 against him. It'll be Tommy Everidge, Ryan Sweeney, and Mark Ellis. The A's at the end of 2 innings had a 3-0 lead. They haven't scored since, and now Everidge deep to the opposite field, and Oakland has scored for the first time since the second. And Tommy Everidge just hit his first major league home run.
Well, that was some big time power the other way right there. I mean, this is a fastball up, out over the plate, and he just got right behind it, right, and just put everything into that swing, and that ball left in a hurry.
And back with a strike to Ryan Sweeney. Sweeney 1 for 3 with a second inning single and a run scored. One and 2 to Sweeney. So Zach Greinke, 7 innings, gave up 3 runs, 7 hits, but in typical Zach form, if you're going to get him, you better get him early because he finished strong. He was down 3-0 at the end of 2, and had thrown 85 pitches at the end of 4. Out at first base on a good play by Alex Gordon.
You know, Billy Bullard did a good job helping Alex out on his throw. He cheated off the bag, and that a lot of times the umpire will give you the benefit of the doubt on that one. Oh. Well, Billy made it look good.
And now Mark Ellis jolts it to left field. So 2 home runs for the A's in the 9th inning against Soria, and both of them on a first pitch.
Well, like you said, Ryan, there's a big difference when you're coming in a real save opportunity and having that mindset that I've got to go in and protect a 1-run lead or 2-run lead. You're coming in with the game. In this situation, how mentally are you into it? I mean, are you into, you come in just to get some work? That's like the mentality that sometimes can hurt you.
Some closers, and a lot of closers, do not pitch well in non-save situations. And you look at their ERAs, the good ones especially, save situations versus non-save situations, there's usually a pretty severe variance.
Yeah, it's definitely the mindset for sure.
Soria could also be showing the effects of having been inactive for a long time. Safe this time. Soria maybe a little late getting over to first. So Pennington with his first hit tonight.
Yeah, as soon as that ball's hit to the right side, he's got to get moving. He kind of hesitated a couple clicks there, and then he didn't really get into a full sprint going into first base, and that cost him right there. He just slowed down for some reason. I don't know. They're taught to make that angle and run right to the bag as hard as they can and stop if possible. It looked like he might have underestimated the speed of the base runner.
So 2 home runs, an infield single, and the only out in the inning. A good play by Alex Gordon on a dribbler to third. And now Adam Kennedy has 2 hits. and an RBI. Caught by Alex, no double play. Pennington getting back quickly. A lot of the fans stuck to their seats on a hot night at Kauffman Stadium in a long game. It took them a while to get up to cheer on this final out. Pennington takes off for second base. The Royals not worried about him.
I would recommend that every fan tomorrow bring a towel to drape over the seat, because it can be pretty hot on that plastic.
One and one on Rajai Davis. 0 for 3 with a walk. So Greinke for 7, giving up 3 runs. Jamie Wright a scoreless 8. Soria has given up 2 in the 9th, and has reduced the A's to 1 strike. Still 1 and 2. 29,818 here tonight. Watch the Royals and the A's helping us salute our uniform heroes. Oh, and by the way, taking home a Frank White Hall of Fame figurine.
That's secondary. But it's nice.
Available to the first 20,000 fans. So there were 9,818 disappointed folks here tonight.
That's right, passes. That's elite passes. They don't get the giveaways.
The A's will not go away. But if you're the manager, Bob Guerin, even though they're down by 7, you appreciate that in this situation they're still working hard at the plate.
Well, that's true, Ryan. And I think on the other side, Soria, you can tell by the way things developed that inning, mentally he might not have been ready to come into this game and compete like he normally does because of the way the score was. And just wanted to come in, get the ball over the plate, and try to get out of here and gave him 2 home runs, something you very rarely ever see from Soria. But not covering first base was a sign of maybe just not being on the field for a while.
Well, so he truly is getting his work in. Well, the 9,818 who didn't get a Frank White figurine are going to get a ball.
A lot of foul balls.
And that's into shallow left center, and Anderson will have to play it on a hop. So the A's with 3 in the 9th inning. Now Davis certainly earned that base hit in that RBI, getting Pennington to the plate, and it's 12-6.
That was a long battle, and Yeah, that's a good pitch by Sawyer there. He just went down and got it on the end of the bat. And like he was just up there in a defensive mode, just trying to put the bat on the ball and got it right on the end of the bat.
And now Aaron Cunningham, who batted for Hairston in the 8th inning and grounded out. Davis was running, and once again the Royals not worried about the runner. Olivo worried about the runner. No stolen base, so that doesn't go against Olivo's stolen base percentage, but he was up out of his crouch. He was ready to fire down there.
Well, what managers do, they usually give the catcher a sign to let them know whether they're throwing through or not. And then the opposing managers look at that. If your first baseman is going to play up on my guy, then they normally they won't let him go. But if you're going to play all the way back and still don't expect me to run, that's when they usually run. Was in the 8th inning, they tried it with 1 out, and line drive double play got him out of the innings also. They normally want to reserve it for 2 outs.
2-2. Soria, this will be pitch number 28 in this inning. What else? A foul ball. Olivo will give it a look, but he's well back into the seats. A fan there in the blue t-shirt holding his Frank White figurine. He's ready to celebrate victory and go home. He's got 2 of them.
I'll get my work cut out for me now. Gotta get that autograph finger ready to go.
Inside to make it 3-2.
I think when Olivo pull a glove back like that, very rarely they're going to give you the call if that happens. It's got to be like a smoother transition. That was pretty obvious right there that he was pulling that ball back across the plate.
Soria ends the game with a strikeout. So it wasn't easy, but the Royals beating the A's for the first time this year, and after being outscored 28-9 in the first 3 games against Oakland, the Royals come up with 12 runs tonight and win 12-6. So Zach Greinke wins for the first time since June the 28th. Billy Butler, a big night on offense with 3 doubles.